Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. They're showing Janet Jackson and Maxwell holding hands and, well, they're trying to suggest they were out on a date. Now, there's nothing cute about this, but two of them look cute together. They look cute together, but remember, there's nothing really cute about dating. Okay, this is just the honeymoon phase, if that's what they're doing. Now, Maxwell will more want to, well, let's say it this way, it's more beneficial. It'd be more beneficial for Maxwell to be with Janet Jackson. What, she's worth over maybe 200 million, and he's what we call a dusty in America. He is worth maybe the max is 10 million, max 10 million. We call him, in terms of him and her, he would call it Dusty, okay? He would need, if they're hooking up, he would benefit more from that hookup than Janet ever could. And if they were ever to do the unholy thing, like get married, I know I'm jumping ahead of myself, but let's say they were to do something like that, it's just to show you commoners, you people who, you don't have any money, yeah, you just like want to serve and you want to always applaud someone outside of yourselves. They're showing you how to behave, and you probably want to get married if she were to get married, if he were to get married, if they were to get married to each other. It's all a game. It's all a game. It does not work. It does not work. Women and men are polar opposites. Okay? Opposites do not attract, even though your government, your church, and whoever else will try to put you together. You cannot be put back together again. That Humpty Dumpty thing ended in the garden. If you want to go to that history, it ended in the garden when the female was separated from the male. There was an Adam who was androgynous in my mind and in my thinking and in my reading. He was everything. Adam had within the console of whatever Adam was, okay? Everything. He was the genesis. He was the genes, okay? He had everything. It had everything. She had everything. Adam was not only a thought experiment, because you're going to want to think of Adam as being physical, but Adam was the greatest experiment ever until Adam wanted to separate. He wanted to separate the feminine from who the structure of the Adam was. Adam. And when it happened, he actually blamed God. He thought God made a mistake. It's like, I asked you to separate the male from the female, but I didn't think that the female was going to be so strong. I didn't think the female was going to be so powerful. I didn't think that she was going to be a challenge. Okay? She has created now for me, this is the Adam I separated, say, a rite of passage. I have to do all of this to get to her. And he just didn't understand. He didn't understand that Adam was the all. It was the closest thing to God. But the separation, it wasn't really a creation. They took the female out of the male and female that existed together. They took them apart, and Adam blamed God. He said, I asked you to perform this, like when you're going for some sort of surgery and then you blame the doctor because you think the doctor made a mistake, but there was no mistake. The female is the power source of it all. The female was and is the power source of it all. The male and the female can never again be joined together. Not in this place. Not in this place, not in this domain. It can't happen. And as it stands now, it's like your enemies, male and female, the males cannot. They're born like that. It's nothing to, there's no diss, there's no criticism. It's just the way it is. It is just the way it is. And it is something that you have to look at and you just shake your head. Women are birthing males, and males don't like females. They grow bigger, stronger than the female. They can put the female down if they chose to, and females don't seem to get it. It's like a dark spot, a blank area. They don't seem to get it. So they need people, getting back to the story, they need people like her, like Janet Jackson. They need people like Maxwell to show up together, take pictures together. Oh, they're picture perfect, aren't they? They're picture perfect. So they need people like this, and they need these kind of reminders, because women are not having babies, pushing up babies as often as they should. Even Janet, she only has only one that all of them we know of. Yeah. So they need people like this, like Rihanna and who's it? ASAP? Rocky? Yeah, they need people like that to encourage you to have babies. Oh, they could have babies, we could do it too. No. Like I said, Janet Jackson's a multi-millionaire. Maxwell has some millions too, but but no comparison. He's 52-ish and she's 59-ish. It could be Hollywood ages. It could be just the age that they apply when they're in Hollywood, but they're saying she's 59. So it's a 7-year senior for her. Maxwell, I don't know if you're getting paid for this. I'm assuming you are. We all know it does not work. We all know that male and females cannot get back together since Humpty and Dumpty fell off the wall in the Garden of Eden. Could not. All the king's horses, all the king's men could not put Humpty Dumpty. It could not be put back together again. It cannot be put back, not in this domain, not here. They have to create something new, but not here. Okay, so women and men, actually, if you're going to get together because you want children and you can, have some signed agreement that you're going to be there until the child finishes college, they're done with college and they're out really solidly out on their own, because remember, the brain of a child coming in is not really developed until they're in their 30s, like 30s, like mid-30s. It takes a while for the brain to really understand the world they're in. And before that, they're like childlike. There's still many questions they have to ask. And when you stop asking why, the day you stop asking why, like when something happens and you say, why did that happen? And why did you do it to me? And why this and why that? The day you stop asking why is the day that you start to forgive yourself. It is the day that you start to forgive yourself. You start to understand that it's all you. You're not going to ask yourself why. You just forgive yourself and understand that you're young. This is an experience. This is a school. You are in a class and you're supposed to learn from your mistakes and forgive yourself. Learn from your mistakes, forgive yourself, and after a while, you're going to stop asking why. No one can tell you to stop asking why. It's just going to happen. It will just happen because you're going to figure out you're dealing with yourself. You're dealing with yourself. Okay, just like how Adam didn't realize he was dealing with himself when he was dealing with Eve. He didn't realize he was dealing with himself when he was dealing with Eve. Okay, he didn't realize that Eve and him were one, separated per him requesting that he be separated from the feminine. Okay, So when it happened, and he's looking out now at Eve, and then blaming the God when God, when whoever, the surgeons came through and were like, how you like it now? Are you pleased with what we did? And Adam is going to look at the gods, the surgeon, and say, you really fucked this thing up. I thought I was going to have someone, at my beck and call. I thought I was going to have someone who, was going to make me breakfast and know that I like my eggs sunny side up. This is a force to be dealt with. Eve is a force mightier than I ever expected. That's what you get. That's what you get. Male and female from that day forward were cursed. We're cursed. And if you understand history, when you start to understand history, everything makes sense. It starts to make sense. It just falls into place. Males and females could never get along because they were separated. They were separated in the garden and never, ever, 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 ever to be put back together again. Never, ever. Not here. Not here. Whoever comes here, you're going to learn. You're going to learn. It's never, ever going to be put back together. Not here. Okay? Learn to love your male counterpart. Learn to appreciate your male counterpart. But it's not meant for you to be in love and to be in the same house with kids. It's not meant to be. Make sure whoever you pick has money to help you support the child or the children. Make sure to that. But it's not meant to be no lovey-dovey. I'm ready for that. Those days were done eons ago. So stop forcing it. Now, you're old enough. I'm talking to Janet. She's old enough to know that it's not going to work. He is old enough, but maybe not that old, but old enough to know it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Even if they were to jump the broom, even if they were to tell everyone that they fell, remember the word. Remember that word, fell. They fell in love. It's not as though they were upgraded, uplifted. They fell. It's a fall. It's a fall. So even if they were to tell you, oh, we're falling in love, take it with a grain of salt. From the time they get married, it's countdown to divorce. From the time they do it, it's a countdown to divorce. From the time you have children, it's a countdown to things getting worse and worse and worse. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. From the time the male and the female were separated in the garden, it's history. Nothing to worship. It's history. From the time they were separated and Adam looked out and saw a formidable force, a system that he could not ever have thought was part of him, because he never utilized it. You know when you have a phone, I'm getting off, but you know when you have a cell phone, there's so much in that cell phone, but you only use it for Facebook. That's what he did. He only used his system for Facebook, okay? And when he realized that there's so much more to the system, and he was looking right at it, he was like, well, God, it's his fault, it's this fault, it's her fault, it's that one his fault. He could not at that time understand that he was dealing with himself. He was dealing with it. Maybe had he understood that he was dealing with himself, it wouldn't have ended the way we have ended. It wouldn't have ended with all the wars, with the murder, the first murder. It wouldn't have ended with the lying, the stealing, slavery, everything that has gone wrong, everything, per that history, everything that went wrong was because Adam could not deal with the feminine part of himself and the one that he asked to be separated from. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.